Dr. Shabir, this is a question about personal accountability. At what stage in life does accountability begin, and at what stage does it end?
So it doesn't actually end, but when does it begin? Usually it is understood in Islamic circles that when the child reaches the age of puberty, that's when accountability begins. That sign of physical maturity is understood to be linked to responsibility more generally, and religious responsibility specifically. So is there a certain age that is mentioned? Well, the biological sign for a girl would be clear. That would be the onset of menstruation. For a boy, it is said to be when he experiences his first wet dream. Sometimes ages are given in some of the classical books. It might be mentioned as 12 years for girls and 15 years for boys. But these ages are not carved in stone. It varies from culture to culture and situation to situation.
So do you think that accountability could be seen as a gradual thing rather than, that sharp cutoff point?
It may be somewhat gradual. Obviously, it's God who holds us accountable and excusable, or gives us lets us off. So it's up to Him to be the final arbiter and judge in this. But we human beings are just going by the meager references that we have in our tradition regarding this, and we're trying to make sense of the whole thing. So in classical Islamic jurisprudence, these cutoff points were given as though it's a sharp distinction. But it's probably more that there is a gradual progression, that the older one is, the more God holds you responsible. The Quran says, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ فِيمَا آتَاكُمْ, that God may judge you according to what He has given you. So that could be, whatever God has bestowed on us in terms of intellect and intellectual maturity. By contrast, we should, you asked, like, when does it end? And I said it doesn't end, but there are times when we might be let off the hook, so to speak. So when we're asleep, it is said that the pen that writes our deeds, it also takes a break. So we're not responsible for what happens while we are asleep. It's also mentioned in hadith that God has forgiven this ummah, this nation, for that which is done under duress or through forgetfulness or by way of mistake. And in the Quran itself, we have the prayer, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Our Lord, do not catch us if we do something by way of mistake or if we forget. So what is done by way of forgetfulness or by way of mistake, this is excused. So we're not held accountable for those things.
All right, thank you for that, Dr. Shabir Ally.
You're welcome.